Welcome to the repair shop, where cherished family heirlooms are brought back to life.
This is the workshop of dreams.
Home to furniture restorer J. Blades.
Nowadays, everybody spends a fortune on stuff that once it's broken, they just bin it. But everybody has something that means too much to be thrown away, and that's where we come in.
Working alongside Jay will be some of the country's leading craftspeople.
Every piece has its own story. It's amazing to think that some of my work becomes part of that story.
I've always played with things, I've always repaired things, and I just love it.
There is a real pleasure in bringing people's pieces back to life again.
Each with their own unique set of skills.
I can't wait to get started.
They will resurrect, revive,
Come on, man!
and rejuvenate. Treasured possessions and irreplaceable pieces of family history.
Wow!
Bring in both the objects...
She's fantastic!
That's just taken me back 50 years.
...and the memories that they hold...
Oh, yes!
...back to life.
Oh, my God!
In the repair shop today, Steve and Kirsten collaborate on a very fragile 19th century clock.
There we go.
Can I let go?
Okay.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
While expert George tackles an antique typewriter with royal connections.
Where's the spell check button?
You're 100 years too late for that.
First through the repair shop doors is John Lofting on a top-secret mission.
Hello.
Hi.
He's enlisting an expert who's very clever with leather, Suzie Fletcher.
Nice to meet
Nice
you.
to meet you.
What do you have here?
So this is my grandfather's World War II flying jacket.
Okay.
He did actually use in the war.
Really?
Yeah. I believe it's an Irving jacket. And that was designed specifically for the coastal commands as part of the RAF.
Right.
They don't all have the yellow hoods.
Oh, right. What is this?
If they were unfortunate enough to have to ditch in the sea, they could put this up, and it was easily visible from any of the search planes. And he was a navigator air gunner in a bomber.
Coastal Command was the maritime arm of the RAF. Their role was to patrol and defend the home coast from attack and to spot downed airmen and stricken ships in British waters. During the Second World War, the heroes of Coastal Command sank 366 German vessels. But the cost was heavy. Nearly 6,000 Coastal Command personnel lost their lives in combat. John's grandfather survived and continued in the Air Force after the war.
I never met my grandfather, unfortunately. He died before I was born, so it's my father's. He was given it, or inherited it. It's pretty important to us because it's one of the few things that my father still has of his.
What is it you would like me to do to this?
Well, I actually smuggled it out of the house without my dad knowing.
How on earth did you manage to do that?
Well, I did collude with his wife.
Why didn't you feel that you wanted to...
I just thought it would be a really nice surprise. I mean, my dad doesn't talk about his dad very much. I don't know a huge amount about my grandfather, but I've always known about this. I've always known about it, always known it was Grandad's, and I just thought that would be a really wonderful thing for my father to have something restored that belonged to his father, but also I think it's got historical significance as well. You know, it was actually used in the war. And I think that it flew missions and what it saw, so I think to bring it back to its former glory would be, you know, truly amazing. Most of the lining on all the seams has come away.
Oh, yes, yeah.
I guess that's one of the more minor things if you start to look at some of the holes. I mean, up in the shoulder here.
Oh, my, yes.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not sure how that happened. My father has worn it back in his late teens, and so did my uncle, in fact. So I think that's maybe where some of the wear and tears come from.
And you're clearly confident that he will be very happy that I'm going to put this back together.
Yeah. I mean, as you can see, it needs some tender, loving care.
I am going to cherish this while it's in my hands, and I appreciate you bringing it in.
I'll leave it with you.
Brilliant.
Thanks so much.
All right, you take care, John.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye. I'm feeling quite apprehensive that I've dropped it off, giving it to someone else to take care of. It's an important part of the family, important item to the family. My father means a lot to me, and to be able to do this for him means a lot to me too. So I'm really, really looking forward to him seeing it and him seeing the finished product. Sorry.
Now John must work out how to lure his father to the repair shop, while Suzie gets to work on his big surprise.
Just looking over the jacket, there's an awful lot of hand sewing to do of all the leather work that's come away. And I have the zips to replace. This hole in the shoulder here is going to be a little tricky, but we'll be able to get that all reinforced. While I'm working on it, I'm sure I'll be imagining what this jacket has been through.
John's grandfather's jacket is falling apart at the seams.
Pretty much all of these strips of leather that are covering the main seams that butts the two pieces of leather together is going to have to be resewn. All the stitching is rotten. It's very fragile. I just need to sew every seam, of which there are many.
With an entire jacket to carefully restitch, Susie's calling on the help of an old and dependable friend.
You all right?
Hello.
I did offer to get you an electric one.
This is Pearl.
Nice to meet you, Pearl.
Pearl is a singer sewing machine, and
Yeah.
there was an Elkie Brooks record. Pearl's a singer, so I call it Pearl.
All right.
But the reason I like this hand-driven machine is this has to be done one stitch at a time to match up the original stitches. And if you had an electric sewing machine, it probably would take up...
It does its own
It
stitching.
would do its own stitching.
And you can control going into where it needs to go. So there's nothing I can do here.
Well, you might want to turn the handle.
And I go slowly.
And go very, very slowly. Ready? Perfect.
Like that?
Yeah, keep going.
God, blimey, it's going to take ages.
You're not going anywhere this afternoon.
I'm here for the rest of my life, you know?
Yeah, keep going.
You've got to do the whole jacket like this?
The whole jacket. Keep going.
Next into the repair shop, Jane Prickto from Maidenhead.
Hello.
Hello.
She has a treasured possession in desperate need of some very specialist attention.
So what have we got here?
It's a Meissen porcelain clock.
Oh, that's beautiful. Kirsten, we've got one here for you.
Kirsten Ramsay to the rescue, with her years of experience restoring ceramics from around the world.
That's nice.
It is very nice.
Yeah. Can I take it out?
Yes, please do, yeah.
Lovely. Oh, something's rattling. All right. Wow. That's absolutely fabulous.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah.
So what's the story behind this then?
My grandfather collected antiques. He had a good eye for it, I think. My
Very good
father wasn't interested in antiques, but my mother was. So when Grandpa died, he passed this on to my mother, who was his daughter-in-law. She encouraged me to take an interest. I remember her telling me it was the 4 seasons, that this is spring with the garland of flowers.
That's right.
Summer has the sickle and the sheaf of corn. Autumn has the wine glass and the vine, and winter has a blanket and a little bowl of hot soup.
Oh, right, okay. Or coals, or yes,
something warm.
Perhaps when we clean it, we'll find out.
Yeah.
It's a broth.
It's a broth.
I remember it working and being on Grandad's mantelpiece.
Right.
So, what's wrong with it?
My friend came to visit me about 8 years ago. I was poorly and she came to help me. And she took it off the mantelpiece to dust, put it on a stool and then properly knocked it over. So,
are you still friends?
At that point, yeah, we are. Well, we've known each other a long time.
But those bits lost it.
She hoovered them up.
Oh, no. Goodness. I mean, it's a lovely clock. It's Meissen, it's turn of the century, so it's... I mean, they are beautifully made. It is really sort of good quality porcelain.
Okay. That's nice. If Kirsten likes it, it must mean it's good.
It is very well made.
Well,
it's very skillfully made.
So much work, so much detail in it.
Absolutely.
And I feel it does connect me to Grandpa and to Mum. They both treasured it.
And then the clock, is the clock...
It used to ding every so often. And
Oh, really? Well, we could ask Steve.
Yeah, Steve. Steve's the man. Steve, if you don't mind, come and have a look at this one.
I've been itching to come over. Steve, hi. Right, let's have a look. When was the last time it worked?
About 9 years ago.
Oh, right, okay. I reckon it hasn't been looked at by a clockmaker for about 25, 30 years.
Yeah.
And I can tell that by the colour of the brass.
I don't remember it ever being seen by a clockmaker.
Right.
That will explain it then.
Yeah.
So, Steve, would you reckon we can get this working?
Oh, yeah, we'll get it working.
That'd be great.
Team effort then.
Yeah, it is.
Absolutely.
Yeah? You two work together? Cool.
Lovely.
Yeah.
So, thank you for bringing it in.
Yep, thanks. Nice to meet you all.
Nice to meet you too.
Carefully.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
It's going to clean up beautifully,
It's a quality piece, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, I'm glad I've dropped the clock off. I'm feeling quite relieved it didn't get more broken on the way here. The clock is a link across the generations of my family, and it reminds me of my grandparents, it reminds me of times in their house, and it would be lovely to be able to pass that on to my boys as well.
I'm just itching to get going because it's gonna come up so beautifully. And your clock, you think you're quite confident
Yeah.
that
The clock is a very standard but very good quality French movement.
Right.
And I've worked on hundreds of these. They're all good quality.
right?
Okay.
Okay, great.
So you need to get the clock out first before Kirsten can work on the actual body?
Yeah.
Okay. So it sounds like you're both excited about this one.
Absolutely.
And it's a team effort.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah? So can I leave you to it?
You can.
You sure?
You can. Yeah. All right. Thanks, Steve.
Meissen porcelain was developed in Germany in the early 18th century. It was the first porcelain to be produced in Europe, the Chinese having had a monopoly on the process up until then. Renowned for its whimsical style and delicate rococo detail, it has become extremely sought after by collectors.
So I'm just going to start taking it apart now. Just pop the dial off. The strike is completely seized up, which I'm very surprised at. It might be just because it's years since it was used. On the time side, it looks fairly seized up as well. Okay, I'm going to have to take it fully apart to actually find out what the problem is.
Steve,
Hi.
I was just coming for the Meissen clock case.
Yeah, take it away. I'm terrified of it here. Absolutely terrified.
Okay.
Just the sort of thing that you swing round and knock. Take it away. You got it?
Yeah, I got it.
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. All right. Thank you, Steve.
All right.
Leather restorer Suzie is on a covert assignment to restore a precious piece of family history. A World War II bomber jacket that is succumbing to age.
The hole here is actually in the shoulder area. It's a very significant repair, and I want to stabilise this whole area. In order to do that, I'm going to be trimming off the wool that's on the inside of the jacket, and I'll then be gluing some aviator leather on the inside. It has the wool still attached to it. It's beautiful and soft, and the leather is a decent thickness. So I'm going to shave all the wool off down to the skin. I'm just going to take my time doing this, as I don't want to cut the leather itself.
After preparing the ribbed area, Suzie can attach the sheepskin patch. But the heavy-duty adhesive means she's only got one shot.
It's a case of that balance between taking your time, but also you can't hang about while you're doing it. So now that I've fit the jacket over, I'm making sure that those tears are joined together. Where we've got these little flaky bits sticking up, they'll actually cover over some of the tears, which is quite nice. Already I can feel that new piece of leather has really stabilised this whole section that was incredibly weak. So I'm very pleased with how this has gone.
The years on combat duty haven't just taken their toll on the leather.
The zip on this jacket is actually very badly damaged. It's lost many of the teeth. It's not the original. I can see it's been repaired in the past. A zip on a jacket like this is so important that it works, and it's easy to attach and do up, particularly on those cold, wet days. Things to bear in mind when you're putting a zip in is making sure that when you've taken the zip apart, you sew the right side on. Otherwise, you'll find out when you go to put the side with the slider on, you've got it inside out, which isn't going to work. Machining went very well, very happy with it. So it just leaves for me to test the zip up for the first time, and hopefully I got it right. Nice.
As Suzie breathes new life into the aviator jacket, more items are coming into the repair shop. Next, it's Lucy and Chris Smith from Exeter in Devon.
Here we are.
Yes. Hi there.
They've brought in a historic family heirloom with a regal connection.
Let's have a look. We'll let you have a look.
That. It's a typewriter, I can see that.
That's an Android 5.
Is it?
Yeah.
The repair shop has called on the expertise of vintage typewriter restorer George Blackman.
It belonged to my grandfather, who wrote these memoirs on it of the Boer War and the First World War and his time in the army.
Okay.
And during his distinguished military career. And the really interesting thing, we think, is that he was godson to Queen Victoria.
Queen Victoria?
Queen Victoria. So my great-grandparents and Queen Victoria and Prince Albert were friends.
Oh, I mean, just as you do.
Yes.
But...
As he was friends with in the memoirs, he records the fact he was at Sandhurst, training to be an officer with Winston Churchill.
Well connected then.
Yes. And one of the most fascinating things that he records, he was on attachment to the British Embassy in Berlin, and he was there at that very point Britain had declared war on Germany.
And that's also, the accounts are in there, in the memoirs, written on the typewriter again. So it's got a very interesting story behind it, this typewriter.
I've always say, if only things like this could talk.
I know.
You know, the stories, well, the stories are here.
Yes, they are, but it would bring it to life even more, wouldn't it?
So it must mean quite a lot to you, then?
It means a great deal to me. I'm sort of very family-orientated, so although I only knew my grandfather for 9 years, my family are very important, and I want to pass it on to the next generation. It's you know, it's a family heirloom that I want to keep in the family forever.
So this isn't working at the moment?
No.
No.
Probably never been used for 60 or 70 years.
Yes.
Really?
Yes, I would say that's right.
Yes.
What happens is, they used to use old type of oil years ago, and it congeals.
Yes.
And it sucks in all the dirt from everywhere, and it just seizes everything up. So we can't move it.
Yeah. Yeah.
All these keys here are all stuck. Let's see if we can get some moving.
A bit sticky.
They are very sticky, yeah. I've never worked on one with royal connections at all, but it'd be a pleasure to rebuild it with all the history that you told me.
Well, excellent.
Excellent, and it'd be great to have it in working order so it can go back in pride of place.
Well, we certainly try to.
Thank you very much, George.
Thank you much for coming down.
Thank you, Will. Thank you, George. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I'm feeling very excited now I've dropped the typewriter off because, with any luck, George will be able to restore it and then it can be passed on to the next generation.
I'm sure it's more than a possibility. George is going to do it, I know.
So, George, this is such a nice piece to have into the workshop.
It is.
And it's the first item that we've had that has a link to the royal family.
That's right, yeah. I've done several like this, but never known their history. Whereas this one, I do. It's very interesting.
Very interesting,
yeah.
isn't it? Right.
But the main thing we've got to do is this is the most important part, is the carriage movement. It's not moving, so we've got to sort that out. And all the keys at the front, they're all, which actually bring up and type on the paper.
Yeah.
Just not working.
Seized.
Seized up with years and years of neglect. And then all these have got to come out. Now, this is a big job.
What? You're going to take them all out?
I'm going to take them all out. But there's hundreds and hundreds of parts in this machine, possibly nearly 1,000.
So it looks like you've got a lot of work to be getting on with.
It's a lot of work.
George's first job is to dismantle the typewriter so he can give its myriad parts a deep clean.
Normally, a machine of this age would be thrown away. They're just scrapped all over the place. It's just a shame. That's the scale off. Now, we should be able to get it off. Here it comes. Waggle, waggle, waggle. There we go. But you can now see all the gunge all along here that's been there for a long, long time. Is one of the worst I've ever seen. Very bad.
Steve and Kirsten have combined forces to restore an ornate 19th century Meissen clock.
It's picked up a lot of dirt over the years, so I'm going to give it a really good clean. Porcelain like this, when it comes to me, it does tend to be quite dirty normally, quite dusty. I think people are quite intimidated by cleaning things like this. I'm going to use my steam cleaner, which is absolutely brilliant for the job. It's a bit like washing a car, all the dirt kind of runs down.
Steve has his own clean-up operation on the go. The clock mechanism hasn't worked for almost 10 years, and its parts are in need of some TLC.
I've taken the whole movement apart now, and there's nothing actually broken. What I have found is that it's just completely seized up with the oil that has gone absolutely hard on all the pivots. It's just like glue. and so that's the reason why the clock wasn't working. I'm going to pop it in the clock cleaning fluid now and leave it there for a little while. Then I'm going to clean it all up and polish it all. This is a great old-fashioned clock cleaning fluid that my grandfather used to use most of his life. Leave that to cook for a little while, about half an hour, 3/4 of an hour. Hopefully, put the clock back together and it's going to work all right.
Kirsten is ready to tackle the trickiest part of her repair, rebuilding the missing porcelain parts.
I've got a couple of missing areas. I've got this wheat sheaf here. There's a finger and a toe and a few leaves and things. So I'm going to make up the missing areas. I'm going to do a finger here on this cherub. If you look at the original fingers, they've got some rather sweet little fingernail details. So I'm going to put that back on it as well. So this is actually quite fiddly work. Having said that, I quite enjoy it.
Fingers fixed, Kirsten moves on to the larger broken pieces.
So the biggest challenge on the Meissen clock is going to be making up the missing wheat sheaf. I haven't actually ever made a wheat sheaf before. I've made all sorts of things, flowers and bushes and leaves and feet and hands, but I've never made a wheat sheaf. Fortunately, there are quite a few sort of references and I've got an idea of what it should be looking like. I think my approach is going to be to actually make up a sort of central column. Then make the wheat ears sort of round the outside of it. I think making these individual ones and actually applying them to the central core that's already on there seems to be the way to go.
Over on Steve's bench, the now gleaming components can be transformed back into a working timepiece.
I've cleaned it, I've paired some of the wear, it's just all ready to put together. First job is getting the main springs into the barrels.
While Steve puts the mechanism back together again, Kirsten is painting her repairs to seamlessly blend into the 19th century ceramic.
So I'm just doing the part of this that I really love actually, which is the painting. It's just a real pleasure looking at all the sort of colours that have been used when this was actually manufactured. You've got these really rather sort of sweet little vignettes actually within the ceramic case itself. And of course you've got this sort of extraordinary detail in the flowers and the cherubs. It's just lovely to sort of see it come back to life again.
Leather specialist Suzie is on a secret mission to restore this World War II aviator's jacket, colluding with the owner's son, John. After hours of meticulous work, the end is in sight.
I'm now cleaning the leather and I'm being careful because in some areas the surface is quite flaky and I don't want to pull off pieces. So I'm just gently doing it. I'll let it dry and then I can go over it again. I'll be conditioning it as well and then cleaning it again with some saddle soap. In working on this jacket, I have such a deep appreciation as to what conditions they were working in whilst doing a very, very difficult and important job. It's incredibly emotional. Imagining a member of your family having done that, and so I really hope that John and Graham have a favourable reaction to the work that I've done to this very important jacket.
John and his uncle Michael have arrived at the repair shop, where they have a surprise planned for John's father, Graham, the owner of the jacket.
I've had to spin a bit of a web of deceit to get my dad here today, ably assisted by my uncle here. But he thinks he's coming down for the Small Visitors Centre of the Year award with his wife for a buffet lunch, and he's going to be extremely surprised when he sees us, I think.
That's quite interesting, because you don't live very far from here. Hello, guys.
Oh, yeah. How are you?
I'm absolutely fine, thank you.
Good.
And still none the wiser.
Hello.
Hello there.
How are we doing? You okay?
I'm fine, thank you.
You are?
I'm Graham.
Graham. How are we doing,
Hi, John.
How are we doing, John?
Nick.
Nick. Don't be shy.
Thank you.
So, Graham, you don't know why you're here, do you?
I have no idea.
Okay. John, how you feeling?
Pretty nervous.
Yeah?
Maybe in a bit of trouble afterwards. But yeah, really excited as well.
Really excited?
Excited, yeah.
Okay. You ready for this?
Yes.
Okay. Ready? Yeah.
Wow. Absolutely amazing.
Terrific. It just looks stunning.
It does. Beautiful.
So, Graham, do you know why you're here now?
I've got a pretty good idea why I'm here now, yes.
So is John in trouble now?
No more than usual.
No more than usual. Well, it's all down to Suzie, really.
This was a really wonderful job to work on, and there wasn't a moment that I didn't enjoy it. I haven't let it out of my sight, and I'm not sure I want to let it go, actually.
It just looks amazing. I just hope Dan's happy and
Uncle
Michael's happy.
Yes, delighted. Fantastic, fantastic.
Yeah. It's a bit nostalgic, actually.
We haven't got many things left over from our father, and that's one of them that sort of epitomises what he was doing during the war and everything else, and so it's living, it's there, and John, thank you.
It's given me a chance to learn a bit more about my granddad, because I didn't never know him, so...
No.
Which is, you know, that's difficult for me, that I didn't know him, so this has brought me a little bit closer to him.
It's a lovely little bit of history, and we can now look after it, guys, can't we? Or John can, I suspect, yeah.
So is that what's going to happen with it now? It's going to be handed down to John?
Yes, I think it's John's custodian, unless Michael has any...
No.
I think, Graham, you should do the honours.
Lovely, thank you.
Right.
Come here, young man.
Oh.
I could do it. It feels amazing.
Brilliant. So, John, thank you.
Thank you so much. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Never thought I'd see the day where it'd be restored to the level and the beauty that it was then, and it makes me just humble and proud.
It's all been worth it. The secrecy and the scheming and getting everyone together. The jacket's just amazing, and I'm just so happy that we've got it restored.
It's just a warm glow that the family are together, and they've been brought together by such a simple piece of clothing. If we look after the jacket, it will be that focal point, won't it, to reflect on those people that are no longer with us, but with us in thought.
Susie's basking in the success of her finished repair. But over on George's workbench, he's just getting started. He's broken down the vintage Underwood typewriter into its individual parts.
I've taken all these bars out, they're the type bars, and they're the ones that actually print onto the paper. But they were all seized up, so nothing could work. 60 years of non-use, it's clogged up completely. There's 42 of them. I've got them all the way through, and you can see how bad they are. Every part has to be oiled, in very fine oil, and then they will hopefully work. Unfortunately, it is a laborious process, but it's best if we do it by hand, because if we use a buffing machine, it can damage the angle of the type bar, which everyone is different.
78-year-old George has been fixing typewriters since 1956, when he started a 6-year apprenticeship. He's now a highly regarded specialist in his field.
I don't know how good the alignment of the typing is at the moment. It is a worry that I haven't been able to test it first, because normally I get an idea of what it's going to type like on the paper. Even if it's sluggish and everything else, you could see the alignment. And I haven't been able to do on this one because they just wouldn't move at all, just solid.
The Underwood No. 5 was launched by the New York company in 1900. It was billed as the first truly modern typewriter. By 1920, 2 million had been sold. At its peak, the company was producing one machine every minute.
This is the carriage that's stripped down, and what we've got to do, make sure that it's clean, and so when it's put together, it'll run along on the base of the machine, and you'll get the correct spacing then for the letters.
Once the historic typewriter is stripped down, George uses a spirit wash to loosen the years of dust and grime.
They're so brilliantly made, they should be preserved. And so many have been thrown away, but this one, although it's not been looked after, it's never been messed about with, so it should go on indefinitely.
Meanwhile, Steve and Kirsten's collaboration on the 19th century clock has almost come to an end. It's time for the mechanism to be reunited with its ceramic casing.
I'm dying to see it, actually, from the front.
Wait, just wait. Can we swap positions?
Sure.
And you can hold the movement. If you can hold the weight of the movement, it wants to push out at the bottom there. All right, so...
Got it.
OK, and I'm going to...
That looks so much better. I'm not pushing too hard,
you don't
no.
have to.
No, OK.
There we go.
Can I let go?
OK.
Are you sure?
Yep.
OK. I'm really hoping Jane will be delighted with this.
Jane is back at the workshop to be reunited with the clock that holds such treasured memories of her childhood.
The clock is a link between me and my mother and my grandfather, so I'd like to have it repaired because it would be nice to have those memories again. It would be wonderful to be able to see it working and hear it as it was before.
Hello, Jane. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. It's good to see you both again.
Nice to see you too. You're looking forward to this moment.
I am.
We won't keep you waiting any longer.
Oh, wow. Oh, my goodness. Oh, this is amazing. Oh, gosh, you can't even see where they were damaged. Wow. This is fabulous. Oh, it's beautiful. It's so clean as well. It's really bright, isn't it? It's looking absolutely amazing.
Polished up around the dial as well.
Yeah,
so...
it's absolutely gleaming, isn't it? It's so pretty. Can I look at the back?
Of course, it's yours.
Oh, yes. Oh, it's so clean as well. And will it strike?
Right, you ready?
Yes. Oh, that's so pretty, isn't it?
It's a long time since you've heard
No,
that.
I haven't heard that for a very long time. Takes me back to Grandpa's house and hearing it chiming in the sitting room. That is so gorgeous. Thank you both so much.
You're really, really welcome, actually. It's been a nice project.
I'm very impressed. I really thought it was going to end up in the bin.
Oh!
Which is where my friend thinks it probably should have gone. Julia, you know who you are.
We're going to be able to see it
She will, yeah, if she comes to visit, but she won't be allowed to touch it.
No.
Right, well, I'll wrap it up safely for you, or we'll wrap it up
I'll
safely.
wrap it up.
You wrap it. Kirsten will wrap it up very safely. You can take it home with you and put it
somewhere very safe.
Yeah, very safe indeed.
Yeah. Thank you very much, both of you. Thanks.
You're very, very welcome.
It's been a real pleasure.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I feel ecstatic. I can't believe how beautiful it looks. I can't believe how dainty the repair is. You can barely see where it was ever broken. It's so bright and beautiful. I feel it's nice to have something to pass down that has a link with my family over the generations.
After hours of meticulous cleaning, George is now rebuilding the antique Underwood typewriter.
I'm just going to put the carriage on for the first time, and we're hoping we'll get a good result, because I couldn't type on it at all before. So we wiggle it on. We'll gradually go. Here we go.
It's looking great.
Yeah, I'm very pleased with it.
So is this the final stage?
This is the last screw to put in from about 50. All different ones.
Yeah. It looks a lovely piece of engineering.
It is.
And are you confident it's going to work?
I'm hopeful. It's not worked for 60-odd years, I know that.
Do you know what? It's years and years since I used the typewriter.
Of course it is, yeah. But they're highly fashionable now. Do you want to have a go?
Yeah, go on then. Yeah.
Yeah, we're just hoping the impression's going to be good. You've got to give it a little bit of welly.
It's a really nice feeling when you
it is.
keys.
Yeah.
Very different to a computer. Where's the spell check button?
Ah, well, you're 100 years too late for that.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you've done an amazing job, George.
Thank you.
And it's a lovely thing to see.
It's taken George's expert touch to breathe new life into the vintage Underwood. It's now as good as new, when it recorded historical memoirs with exclusive royal connections. 150 miles away in Exeter, owner Lucy is waiting to be reunited with the typewriter, along with husband Chris, her sister Camilla, and great-niece Lily.
I'm really excited, I'm sure Camilla is as well, to see the restored item, and then it can be passed down through the generations.
Well, it's really important to Lucy, this typewriter, because it's a link back in her family history, which is a tangible link, something that she can actually reach out and touch.
It's like Christmas, but this is a present from the past. Oh, I'm shaking.
Are you?
Yeah.
Have you got it?
Yeah. Look at that. Look how sparkling it is.
It's like brand new. That's incredible.
Look at that. Look how... Camilla.
What a job he's done.
Camilla, so he put some paper in it.
Get it working. Gosh.
Doesn't it look brand new?
I know.
It's incredible.
I'm so pleased.
It's thrilling, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really thrilling.
To actually think that my grandparents
Used that
typewriter and their hands were on here.
The typewriter is a way of connecting to her grandfather because it's a big piece of his life.
I think if somebody's kept something and passed it down to you, it's your obligation to pass it on to the next generation, and you're just sort of custodian of it for a few years. Let's have a go. Look, you're very clever. Isn't that lovely? Press the keys. Should we do it together? Do it together. I'm going to pass it on to my son who lives in Australia, Ben,
And the extraordinary thing was that my grandfather was very well travelled, but the one place that he regretted that he didn't get to was Australia. So maybe the typewriter will eventually get there, even if he didn't.
Join us next time as the team gets to grips.
Something actually really satisfying about this.
With more precious pieces in need of restoration.
It's better than it was before.
In the repair shop.